Locals were telling me that they don't even speak about some of these things. It's like held as local secrets because they don't want it to get in the tourist circuit. His body is possessed by the deity's spirit. Once he's in that state, it is time for pooch, which means to ask. Hi. So the journey started back in Delhi, and Delhi is great for the urban experience, but I wanted something more. I wanted to go to the Himalayas. So I got on a bus, took about 14 hours, very shaky because it goes through the winding roads of the Himalayas, but beautiful. This time I had to go to a place with stable Wi-Fi so I could stay connected with work. This is the look of someone who has spent the last 14 hours in a blender, which is the Volvo bus that I had booked to Manali. Many people go to Manali. It's a very popular getaway, but I think because there's so much to do and see that people often miss out on some of the unique aspects of that place. So Manali has two sides to it. One is the super touristy side. That's why it's a honeymoon destination. And just about every other woman I saw had this faded marriage mehendi and those marriage bangles on. It was like an unspoken uniform. Manali is also popular for something else.
It's too late to save me. I'm already dead.
Weed or ganja basically grows wild in the Himalayas. Now, I'm not a smoker, but I'm told it's really good quality. So because of that, you see all these kids working from home in Manali. So honeymoons and really good weed is what Manali is popular for, even in India. But if you dig a little deeper, you start finding another story. Manali is one village in Kullu Valley, and it's also called Dev Bhumi, or the Valley of Gods. There are over 500 living gods here, and for thousands of years, these gods or deities of Kullu have been an authority in shaping the social, cultural, and political worlds of Himachal. So how can a deity or a stone idol be an authority in politics? The first place I visited in Nagar illustrates this perfectly. Nagar was once the capital of Kullu Kingdom. Nagar Castle was built in this Himalayan style of alternate wood and stone layers, which has protected it from multiple earthquakes over centuries. Here in the castle, the most important space is the Jagdipat temple. The main deity is a triangular-shaped stone. I've seen triangles being used in the south, especially in Kerala, where I come from, in different types of rituals to create an invitation for different gods or deities. So here too, whenever there is a drought, a war, a famine, any urgent situation, the first action the king took was to invoke all these deities. And even today they do that, even for their personal matters. It is said that before going to a doctor, a Himachali will consult a deity first. For each deity, there is a priest, and there is also somebody called a gur. The gur is the medium of the deity, like a shaman. Once he enters the khel or a trance, his body is possessed by the deity's spirit. Once he's in that state, it is time for pooch, which means to ask. And anyone can ask the deity for whatever they may need related to work, marriage, help, children, and the deity responds with great clarity, precision, and instructions for how to fix that particular problem. This day, he took 2 samples of soil from 2 different properties to a Bhadrakali temple about 2 hours away, where no one really knew him personally, but he wanted to ask that Devi for her advice about where to start the business. So he held the soil like this, and she saw both of his hands, and she pointed to one, saying that the soil from this property is right next to the road, which is ideal for your business. A month of starting his business, it was fully booked, like 4 months in advance. So this aspect of a human medium is all over the world. I know in South India, many temples you see a particular person who's designated and they go through certain ritual, and then the Devi or the deity will come on that person. And that is the way that the people can actually speak to the deity. In Native American cultures, there are hundreds of stories of spirits taking over a person during certain rituals and speaking through them. And many of the medicine men are actually mediums for another deity who has healing powers to function through them. These types of information are not to make you believe in mediums or spirits or anything like that. I consider myself more of a seeker. I make sure not to get into blind belief at all. But at the same time, the fact that these mediums, Himachal and all over the world, have actually helped people for hundreds of years, that can't be just ignored and brushed aside either. So it's more about just listening and kind of keeping a little bit of an open mind that, oh, there might be something else, or there might be something here that I'm not aware of. So devotion to these deities is not blind. It's actually hugely empowering when that deity is alive and they can come into your life and help you. But some particular stories related to this last week when I visited Vrindavan, do check out that video as well. So the other side of Manali is more secret, more subtle, and in my opinion, way more powerful.